Hello Uprint family, I'm doing a training video on the RIP software. This is an updated RIP software, so there's slight changes to it, nothing too hectic. I'm going to go through it quickly, and I'm just going to go through every step, what you need to do to bring in the logo and then get it ready for printing. I'm also going to go through your print name mapping, why the environment is so important, and your print preview. So let's dive in. I'm actually going to remove this logo and we can bring it in afterwards. Okay, so your page will start off like this. You might have extra boxes over here. I'm just going to exit that just to show you what it looks like. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a logo, and let's bring in the logo. Okay, let's bring in another one. Perfect, so we've got a Ferrari logo over here. So what I'm going to do first to get this ready for printing, I'm first going to make sure my environment has been selected. So you must select your environment, guys. The reason being is that this holds your ink assignment. Your ink assignment is very important because if you don't have your environment selected with the right ink assignment, it's going to print out the wrong colors. So I'm going to show you this now. I'm going to print setup, properties. This is your ink assignment. It's slot 1, 2, and 3, and 4. This is where your toners are placed inside the printer itself. So it's very important to have the right environment selected. Alright, so after you've selected the correct environment, you can actually select this environment before you even bring in a logo. And then you don't have to change it again. You can bring as many logos as you want during the day and it won't change. Alright, so your environment is selected and you brought in your logo. Next, we're going to go print preview. Okay, once we're in print preview, we are going to center the graphic. It's already been centered, so obviously this logo has been printed already. So generally the logo will come in like this, comes into the top left corner. You're going to click print options. First thing you do inside print preview, and you are going to then center the graphic. And the logo does come defaulted in mirror image. So do not mirror the image inside CorelDRAW, Photoshop, or Illustrator. It will do it inside here. Next, I want to show you your background changer. You can change the color backgrounds in here. Now, just to emphasize, this does not interfere with any of the colors when you're printing the logo out. It's only a purely visual thing. So if you're printing on a colored background like a green, a red, blue, let's say you're printing on a red shirt, or you're printing on red caps with this logo, you can then take a look at what it looks like with the red background and the logo. So it just helps you before printing out the logo. If you're going to waste your time, if the color in the logo is going to clash with the color in the background, these are the type of things you can look at with the color background changer. Alright, so once I've centered it, I can then go ahead and press cancel preview. I just want to go through one more thing with you guys. Sometimes a client might bring in the logo slightly big. I'm just going to make this a ratio, press OK. Okay. Sometimes a client might bring in the logo that is slightly big. So let's go 290 here. Press OK. You can see there, now a client will bring in a logo and it goes off the page like that, even though you have centered it. This is because the logo is too big for the page size. So this is an A4 page size. It's 201, so yeah, 210 by 297. Yeah, so this is not going to work. It's going off the page. As you can see here, you do need a bit of bleed, so I would suggest 5 mil bleed on each side. So let's go 200 here, and you can see it will now come into the center. So I've centered the page now. I've made sure that the logo is on the page, and I'm going to press OK. Next, I'll go to cancel preview to exit this window. Next thing I'm going to do to get ready for printing, I'm going to go print adjustment. Print adjustment is where your underbase is, your highlight generator. This is called a highlight generator. It's not the same as highlights. This is your white highlight, so you need to keep that at 100% at all times. Do not play with choke at all. Keep that at 100. And your underbase, this is what you're going to be changing and playing around with. So let's say we're doing this on caps. I'm going to go 40% underbase. If we're going on the fly, we must always do it on the fly when we're working with a white underbase. Next, we've got fuzziness. Fuzziness stands for halftones or gradients. Now, let's take a look at the image. I'm zooming in onto the image with my left key. You can select that, the tool there in the top left corner, and you can then zoom in. You can also make it larger on the screen. You can actually see that there is a halftone effect. There's gradients. It goes from a dark gray down to a light gray. There is halftone in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 10%. I don't go higher than that, guys. The reason being is it does start to alter the colors a bit more than you want to. Your 10% fuzziness gives you the best halftoning effect across any halftoning image or gradient image. Alright, so I'm now ready to print on a cap. Got the right and a base for a cap, and I put on the fly and I put 10%. You can change. The only two you're going to be playing with here is on the fly and none. On the fly is when you're working with a white and a base, and none is when you're printing on a white background, so a hard surface white background. That being, if you're printing on a white shirt, you still need to use on the fly, you still need to use underbase. If you're printing on a white surface that is hard, like a mug or a plastic pen or a plastic power bank that is a white color, or frisbee or anything like that, you can put this on none and you can put this on 0%. Alright, but we are going 40% underbase and we're going on the fly. 10% fuzziness for the halftone effect. Okay, so next, what you can also do, guys, if you don't understand these headings here, you can select this help tool. You're going to select that and you're going to go over the thing that you want to learn about. Select that and it brings up a PDF document. This will then give you a description on what those three things are. And it also gives you a description on everything else. There's 618 pages throughout this whole PDF document. It gives you a nice description based on the RIP software. I do suggest, if you're not too familiar with something on the RIP software, you forget about what I've said on my training, or it's not on my training videos, then you can come and take a look inside here and it will give you nice descriptions. It doesn't go into too much detail based on anything, on everything, but it does give you an idea of what it is. Alright, I'm going to exit that. I'm now ready to print because I have got all the right settings. I've got my environment for the right colors. I've got my A4 page. I've got my right underbase, and I've got 10% fuzziness on the fly. I'm now ready to print, and I've centered the page, as you can see over here. Okay, that is now the perfect settings for printing. Now I'm going to give you two scenarios here. If a page comes out blank, that means that your scan offset has changed, and that sometimes can happen when you bring in a logo from, generally from Photoshop. I find in Photoshop, you bring in a logo, and I don't use Photoshop myself. I use CorelDRAW. As you can see at the bottom here, I use CorelDRAW 2018, and I do not have a problem with that. There is probably a setting in Photoshop when you bring in an image, and it plays around your scan and feed offset. But if your graphic comes out blank, it means your scan and your feed offset have numbers. You must make sure that this is 0. This is 0, 2. Alright, and then you can print your image out. Next, I would like to show you your print name mapping. Now, if your printer is not getting registered here and you can't find it, then it means you haven't added in your printer. You're going to go to Home, you're going to print name mapping, and this is where you add in your printer. You do not need a driver for your printer. Your box does come with an Archi driver. You can install it if you want to, but it's not necessary. If you're working with an Ethernet cable, a router, then you can then add in your IP address over here. Select your IP address. You can get your IP address from your printer, and then, or you can put in your own building's IP address and then manually change the IP address on the printer to match your IP address on the computer. Alright, let's go ahead and so now I've selected my IP address that I've added in here. I then also select my Archi LaserJet Pro 920. This is an A3 series, A4 series. Alright, your printer name, put in a printer name here. You can also change your ink assignment in here, guys. This would work for your A4 printers. My A3 printer series have got a new updated environment, your 200 LPR, and it comes standard with your ink assignment. For your A4s, you can do this. and then you must just click this box here and then press the tick sign over here. Once you've done that, I've added in my printer. You will then be able to see your printer over here when you click the drop down menu. Alright, nice little tools. You can actually select your copies here. If you want to change it to 5, you can change it and press enter. Alright, my printer is not connected, so that's why it's saying RIP and not done, printer error. Next I wanted to show you your costing feature. Now before I get into that, I want to show you where to add in your costs. You can go to cost settings under home. After you do that, you can add in, so these are your toners. If you're working with A4, the costing and the number of A4 pages is going to be different. This is working on A3 toner, and then your image drum and your additional consumable settings. Okay, add in all these costs. These are all in rands. Those are all the number of pages based on 5% coverage. Once you've done that, you can then add in a paper. So if I want to, let's say if I want to add in a new one, you type in the name of the paper. Let's say heat transfer paper. Okay, I added the amount, let's say 5 rand for the paper, and I click only this is white, this color. I only tick the 2 boxes that I want to know, and then it'll get added in. I'm not going to use this one. I'm just going to delete this cost. I've got marine AB paper A4 size selected at the moment. Okay, and press the tick sign and say yes. Do you want to update the cost of your ink? Yes. I click the plus sign to tell me what this. You're only going to get the cost of this once you've printed the image. So you don't need to print it out. You can disconnect your printer to get a cost if you want to, cost estimate. But you can see here now your toner coverage. It tells you percentages. Guys, generally it does come like that. So when you're scrolling down, you won't be able to see your white. Can you see here? You can't see the white. So what you do is you grab that window there, pull it across, and then click that again, and you'll be able to see your percentage white. Alright, so my image toner drum cost was 9 rand and was 9 rand. You can see cyan, magenta, yellow, and white were those prices there. You can see the white was the most expensive. Your additional costs, transfer belts, waste toner box, and then your marine AB paper cost over there, giving you a total cost of 31 rand and 30 cents for toner and the page, or the 2 pieces of paper that you get for marine AB paper. You can see we've got I think it's 36 small graphics and 3 large graphics, so you've got 39 graphics on the page. If you're doing caps with that, you're getting 39 caps, so it does work out to be about 80 cents a graphic, 90 cents a graphic. That's very reasonable for printing on caps. Alright, so that I've shown you your cost settings. I've shown you how to add in your printer if you're not coming right with that. I've also shown you it's very important to have your ink, so your environment selected before you start printing. This is possibly one of the most important things you can do. And I've also shown you what to do to get ready for an artwork, so it's changed when you bring it in to start printing. Okay, you can always double check if it's centered. Everything looks good here, and then you can print it out once you've done. Alright guys, I hope this helps you understand the RIP software a lot more. If you have any further questions, please feel free to email me or give me a call. I'll leave my email address on the computer, on the screen, and I will also leave my phone number there as well if you need to contact me. Thank you very much.